PV, how much bank account? Then how much your CPF you have?
You see, like, you earn so little, then now I have to pay for everything.
Can you imagine you just date this girl 3 days, then
Yeah.
they say, brother, what if my mother need 100k?
I will be very concerned. Imagine after the meal, you take out a calculator and say, okay, today the meal is $51.20. And then
Do I really want to pay mortgage with like this person for the next 25 years?
I might really love my career and I really want to continue working until I'm no longer around.
Okay.
Money doesn't buy love, but it pays for a lot of things. So my name is Winshern. Today I have my friends Kenneth and Elin with me, and we're talking about some of the uncomfortable things that the younger generation face. When money meets the mess, let's wealth it up.
Indeed.
So it's the season of love, and the long term, it's not just about just feelings. And most of the time, it always comes with compromise, trade-offs. And unfortunately or fortunately, you talk about money. So recently I saw a comment talking about HDBs now are $500,000 and above for BTOs. When we are looking at getting settled down, where do we actually start these conversations about money with our partners?
For myself, I think I will start before we get married. I mean, even before you try to BTO, you definitely will talk about PV, how much bank account money you have, or like, how much your CPF you have, etc. Because then you can actually plan it properly.
So when we're approaching like couples, right? It's easy when we're young and lovey-dovey, just finish school, and then we get paid about the same amount. What do you all think about sharing the bills moving forward? Like, is it 50-50, 60-40? I think I heard somebody say it only depends until somebody gets promoted to a very high salary.
That's true. So, do you pay for first date or do you pay for every meal when you go out?
I don't personally believe in 50-50.
Okay.
I guess it throws the whole vibe off. But generally, it's like, I think as long as we are open about like what we are going to have,
Yep.
or like, not like, because that I do hear about stories that, girls that are on like online, they actually ask guys out to pay for the first date.
Haidilao.
Yeah, Haidilao, right, yeah. But of course, I mean, if you are stable as a partner already, then I think 50-50 is not something that I subscribe to. I
think it's a give and take, right? So if somebody offers to pay for dinner, somebody pays for dessert, somebody pays for the movie. It's not always one side gives everything.
And it's very weird. Imagine after the meal, you take out a calculator and say, okay, today the meal is $51.20. And then it's like,
especially dating phase, that feels very awkward.
Yeah.
I think
You'll be surprised when I've seen a list of like, we go kopitiam, drink this coffee, then we share the coffee because it's very big cup, so we share the coffee. So it's like I think 120 or 60 cents each. One whole list, 60 cents, 120.
Oh, so the further actually accumulated an Excel file for you. Ooh.
No, the thing is I find it amazing because I don't even keep track of all this thing myself. Maybe I should hire him to become my accountant.
I think it's interesting because I think when we are freshly graduated, like now late 20s, early 30s, it's quite common that most fresh grads and early careers, they have the same amount of income. But I think when we progress in our careers, some people do get promoted faster, depending on industry we're in. Some people do face restructuring, and unfortunately, even as early in our mid-30s, we can get retrenched. So if that's the case, right, if for married couples, how would they split? Or is there a way that we can better approach it? In terms of the household expenses, because we married already.
It's totally different ball game from dating. And in myself, I'm not a very strict 50-50 person. Instead, I feel that there's quite a lot of things that people often forget. They're not on the Excel sheets or not on the paper. It's like invisible housework, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'll feel that, let's say if one of the partner is unable to actually contribute much to the household, then I think that it's fair that financially he actually contribute slightly more. So in my case, right, my husband, due to his very busy schedule, very hectic, right, I actually take out most of the household management. So things like, very simple things like whether the laundry is done, refilling the toilet paper. This morning he just texted me, toilet paper? ?
room service.
Room service?
Yes.
Whoa.
I asked him how much you want to pay me to deliver that toilet paper. So it's things like that. So this is how me and my husband work. So it's really about the balance between, the household management, I call it household management, versus the financially part.
So let's say your partner earns 12,000 and the other partner earns 3,000.
There's quite a lot of gaps.
I have you.
Before. I personally think that we always have the focus on the partner with 3,000. Were they struggle and try to measure up to come up with their fair share of in the finances for the family or the partnership in that sense. I think sometimes this is a lot of emotion involved also. So as much as we want to focus on, let's say, having a balance, right, on who contribute how much, I think we should also think about the person's feeling, maybe the person that earns lesser. He or she may be undergoing a lot of stress, right, that they may not say out, but they are actually putting themselves up with it. Maybe because of this gap, they may actually try to work harder, go for a promotion or go for a job that they may not like so much. So we cannot just, like, the partner that earn more, I feel like, my personal opinion, the partner that earn more shouldn't just go around and say, oh, it's okay I'll just pay for everything. Or it's okay I will just sponsor a holiday. Because ultimately, the other person that's earning less might feel less. And that is something that we don't want to have in a relationship. Right? We want both parties to be
equal stakeholders emotionally.
Yeah, correct.
I think it really depends on prior discussions, because especially nowadays where we have kids when we're older, one person's career could have taken off. Would the other partner want to slow down their own career and take care of the family for household management? And then, or choose to totally not work at all and take care of household management because financially they're able to support as a household. So it really depends on, do I need my partner to work because of no choice to pay the bills? Or do I want to give my partner the ability to not work and take care of the household? But all this has to be discussed earlier. So it's not, like you say, it's not about emotionally blackmailing the partner who's earning lesser. You see, you earn so little, then now I have to pay for everything. Or that's the worst kind of conversations you should have. The worst kind of things you should say.
Okay.
The partner could be breaking down, it could be male or female, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's really, when you started the relationship, go back to the starting point of emotions, of the feelings you have for one another, that you really care and love one another. And then look at, okay, now situations like that. Because I do hear situations where a higher income person lost a job because of restructuring. The lower income person had to take on all the bills. And then the higher income person was saying that, hey, how come you cannot take care of all the bills? I was taking care of most of it last time. It's not fair in that sense. Because that stress financially goes back to the person earning lesser.
But actually, I think that also gives an opportunity to take a step back, right? And think about the dynamic of the relationship. Because I guess, with promotion, with progression in life, sometimes you make more money, you spend more money, you spend more time working. But when suddenly maybe one partner loses the job, right, then it comes back to the question, it's like, do I really want to spend so much time working? Or coming back to the family and all that.
Yeah.
So we look at the finances. So I think that's a very valid point.
But how I think is marriage is actually a teamwork together.
Yeah. Yep.
So one part, right, if let's say somebody actually contribute a little bit more and the other one, probably can contribute in different ways, and then have to show appreciations.
Yeah.
Because I think that very often, right, we take things for granted after a long time. So even a high income earner, he has been contributing financially very, very for a very long time. I feel that you still have to show appreciation.
Yeah,
so
simple thank you, right?
Yes. So for example, my husband sometimes he will just tell me that I pick up these certain things for you because I thought it was very cute. I like cute stuff and that kind of thing. So after that I would say thank you, or even when sometimes I would say I'll pick up the bill, etc. So to me, I feel that all these things are things that we have to continue to actually appreciate people. So don't see it as he earn more than me or I earn lesser or whatever thing. It's not this way. It's more towards we are a team together. So we will fight against every other, against the world together. Everything is just both of us. And then we still show appreciation to each other. So we don't actually feel the gap. So even there's a lot of gap, maybe 100K, the other one maybe 20, 30K. Doesn't matter because coming together, you're 130K.
And really budgeting as one household, one financial statement. I do have a very serious family budget review at the start of the year that every quarter we review also.
Oh yeah, that's actually very important.
Because we talk about investments, our portfolio, any life changes, family situations, parents. I think the tricky bit always comes with parents.
Yeah.
Because
Parent support lah, as in yes.
we have so many comments online, right, where people will say, because we see Reddit posts, we see newspapers, elderly people are now dying more alone. People are getting lonely, especially if they're older. And unfortunately, I feel that in Asian societies, there's always stigma that, filial piety, I must take care of my parents. Okay, I use the word must. Some people say I should, I can, I would. I think the idea here is everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
And it's more about how do we go about not sacrificing our own future while taking care of our parents and finding that balance.
Yes, as in like I do agree with you saying that you said that it's like part of the Asian things lah. That like we always must take care of our parents when they old, must give them money, etc. But I also think that nowadays the generation is slightly different. Okay, not that we are very there's a lot of age gap lah. But I know hearing a lot from my younger peers,
The Gen Zs?
yeah.
Fresh into the workforce?
Yes. And then I do check in with them, whether they give their parents allowance and all that. So it actually varies like different kind of answers, whether they give or not. And even some that actually give, but they don't actually give a lot as well. But to me, I feel that it really boils down to giving allowance to parents, right? It's actually on the kids' ability instead of pressure or anything else.
Rather than you set a fixed amount, 500,
Yes.
1,000, percentage,
Yes,
or a
yes.
nominal amount, $58, $68.
What
No, we
ah?
heard this type of interesting stories when we speak to our younger colleagues and friends.
Yeah.
So it's really based on ability.
Yeah, no pressure and not on guilt lah, I would say. And I feel that like this kind of parents supporting between couples, right? I think everything they always like to assume that you will take care of your parents, I will take care of my own parents, that kind of thing. So they usually don't discuss about it. I also feel that this actually is like a time bomb. Because in a sense that if they always assume it this way, right? And one day something really happened that they really need to like, I have to say that, my mom needs this thing. I need 100K for the medical bill. Like Kenneth was sharing with me that, what if, medical bill just come randomly?
Yeah.
Not as if like we can choose, only come 2 years later, that kind of thing,
And we cannot choose when we fall sick.
Exactly.
Or when we slip and fall.
Yeah, and,
right?
it's pretty known that the older folks, like in the days, they don't really have a hospital plan. So all these things can really come randomly like a bomb lah. So in this case, you can say that, you don't want to fork out this 100K, man. You can't say that, what?
Yeah.
So all these are random things that it can happen, but people don't usually talk about it.
Correct. I think with Ministry of Health, our minister coming up to make statements that, hey, there are things that need to be changed in our integrated shield plans. I think that gives us a lot of opportunity to educate more people rather than, hey, you must buy. And there's so much healthcare options. You've got the government route, the subsidized route, the private route. And those cost very differently. And ultimately, we never want our loved ones to fall sick and get injured. But if the bill comes, like you say, we don't have a choice. How do we split?
It's a random thing. So this is something that I feel that it has to be, as in maybe when you like people are going through marriage or thinking dating. Not dating, I think dating is quite scary. Can you imagine you just date this girl 3 days, then they say,
No way, man.
brother, what if my mother need 100K?
Can I borrow your money?
I will be very concerned.
Yeah, so I think this kind of conversation probably will come in when like you decided to want to BTO with
When
with
things
the
get a bit
person.
more serious.
Yeah, when
Correct,
a bit
yeah.
more serious, then you can ask like, also, what if one day, like, does your parents have hospital plans? Like one day they have certain bills that comes in. How are you gonna handle this thing?
Yeah.
Will you be splitting among your siblings?
What if
or
you
not?
know siblings?
GG.
Oh no.
Then the more you need to have this kind of conversation, right?
Yes. Then you become the sibling because you become the spouse.
That's also something. It's like part of the like assumption thing. Like you thought that your wife would be supportive, but the thing is when the supportive that like people are taking up responsibility that is not theirs responsibility, right? That's when resentment will build up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
So
that can fester to other complications down the road.
yes, you're right. So actually, this is actually much more tricky, lah. I would say.
For sure.
Generally, if let's say you talk about like what you mentioned previously, like having an open conversation is very important. Because ultimately, I think what really breaks, let's say a relationship or strain it, let's not say break it, right, is a lot on surprises.
Yep.
So you don't want to surprise your partner with something that they are not financially able to, let's say, manage,
okay.
right, and things like that. Or, so basically it's like, I think if let's say at the start you talk about it, it's very important that also to plan ahead lah. Like you don't just think that okay, now you're dating, you're just having a house. Just you don't plan your own finances, because when you marry someone, you actually marry the entire family.
Ooh,
You
yes.
inherit all their problems.
Yeah, the whole kampong,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I heard of
So
that.
talking about that is not so much on like it's not very sexy, but it actually helps to protect your downside, let's just say.
That's true. So Kenneth, you have a lot of like open conversation with your partner all the time. I realize you like to talk about the communication.
I have too many open conversations, then I overthink stuff.
I think what really helped me in my relationship with my wife is that before getting married, we actually went through some marriage counseling, marriage prep work.
Oh yeah.
Me too. I
That's
think that really helps,
important.
honestly.
Yeah, so the advice that we received is, in life there are so many decisions to make. From which holiday to go, short trips, long trips, how much money we are going to set aside for our future, how does retirement look like for both of us? Because at the same time, it can look very different for me and for my wife. My wife might really love her career, or I might really love my career, and I really want to continue working until I'm no longer around.
Okay.
But the idea here is, are we on the same track, towards the same direction?
Like whether we both want to own the same big property kind of thing.
Yeah. I've got some couples that I've discussed and have sessions with. The idea here is, the end goal is I want to own a landed. But the other partner is, I think condo more than enough. But the price gap is a few $1 million. Then who's going to come out with a few $1 million? That separates from, I want an easy life, kind of easier life, versus I want a hustle life. I want to push and push and push and push and push.
Okay. As in, I read this book and I think it's quite good. It's actually called The Art of Spending Money.
Ooh,
So they
art of spending
actually
my husband money.
exactly. But anyway, sidetrack. So one thing that I feel that they talk about it, right, I think it makes a lot of sense, is actually money is actually just a tool. So it's just like a vehicle to get what really brings you happiness. So for example, just now earlier on you mentioned that some people wanted to stay in like big bungalows, some people want to stay in condo. Like, does this big house really bring you happiness, or is the people that staying in the house makes you happy?
Yep.
Or like, even for example, some people will say that, I want to fire to financial freedom before 40 or 45, having this $1 million in my bank by 45. Does this 1 million really bring you happiness, or giving you the ability to actually support your loved ones, bring them for holiday and create more memories makes you happier?
Yep.
So once you understand like what does money mean to you, right? The money decision actually become much easier, because it just become a tool. So all the decision make, right, with money, right, is really just about or how do we get to what makes us happy.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's the pursuit of life, right? To be happy, to find joy, to find the peace. And the real sweet spot is, we can make all these decisions in advance. And then you can really quantify it. Mathematically, you can calculate how much I need. Very simple. If I want to stay in a bungalow, minimum 5 million. Before renovations and building a swimming pool or jacuzzi, rain shower, things like that can get interesting.
Does it spark joy?
Yeah, exactly. And then from there, to ask the partners, you can have the conversation with your partner, does it spark joy?
Yeah.
Or is it just a dream somebody else put in my life?
Or maybe you watch too much Instagram, then you feel that, wow, the rain shower like show like that.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Exactly. Like, you see in social media nowadays, it's so scary, right? Because people will only post the nice things.
Yeah.
Unless your private feed, your close friends list, then you share a bit more personal stuff. But
Okay.
social media is everybody chasing new stuff.
Yeah.
New stuff, better stuff, bigger stuff, more expensive stuff. But does it really make you happy? Because we see consumerism in these rich countries, developed countries, causing a lot of pain for people. They go into debt, hide the debt from their partners. Then when things get out of control, then they will go through credit counseling. Then finances really break the relationship. So this hustle culture to prove myself to other people, does it bring joy? Maybe, maybe not. Or maybe it's a purpose that I want to do better. I think it's very easy to get sucked in to that thinking. How do we keep ourselves grounded in that time? Do we speak and over-communicate to our partners?
Open communication, that's Kenneth's favorite.
Yes, open communication works all the time. I mean, if both partners look at the 2 million and spark joy, then I guess that's spark joy. But I guess I know people that have I would say substantial amount of money,
Nice.
and they are enjoying their lifestyle. And there are those that actually don't, they are more frugal, and yet they are also happy together. It's not that they are poor per se, it's just that they don't see the joy in
spending,
Like
spending
spending
money.
for certain things, right?
Correct,
yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah.
So
Like $8 for a cup of water.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, coming back to this whole thing, right? I feel that like out of all the stuff that we discussed, I feel that this thing has to be much aligned way
Yes.
before marriage.
Before signing the paper.
Before signing the paper, yeah. You
Yeah.
cannot marry someone that feels that, or traveling is like waste of money, and at the side you actually love traveling.
Wow,
Yeah,
you kill
then-
yourself every day. Eh.
Exactly. So this is
I
pretty
think
suffocating
marriage
lah.
and getting the house, it's the very first big test of a relationship with finances.
No, getting the house is not. Nowadays, BTO is so easy. You can just tell this person,
Oh.
hey, you want BTO with me? Then we go BTO.
True.
The real thing really comes, right, is when you go there, then you have to sign a thing and say that, you pay using your CPF, how much percentage you're going to pay, then how you're going to pay the monthly mortgage.
There was a mortgage for the next 25 years.
Yes. I think that is when really things get really real. Like, you have to really feel that, do I really want to pay mortgage with like this person for the next 25 years? That kind of thing.
And that's why we do hear stories where people back out last minute, you get cold feet.
Yeah.
Not just at the in the Western world or other parts of the world, you hear people not showing up at their wedding. This is not showing up at HDB to sign
To sign the agreement.
yeah. I think that it happens. It happens. How do we want to make sure that we are in line, like aligned with all these things? And we can always over communicate in certain things, especially with our future commitments, and we can plan in advance and always speak with a licensed financial advisor.
Yeah.
There's so much tips online on so many media platforms, so much advice without recourse. They can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
It makes our job very difficult.
As in, there will be a lot of people saying a lot of different things. In general, that's why I always share with the younger peers that there will be a lot of people saying a lot of different things. But in general, you have to sieve out who are the ones that you feel that whatever they say sounds a bit nonsense. Then you just, okay, thanks for advice, that kind of thing. And you filter it out.
You need to have critical thinking.
Yes. You have to really think it through. Not whatever people say, right, all are truth. You have to really counter and fact check.
I think one example of the soft life versus hustle life, right? It's how we progress in our career. Certain industries needs more networking, and that's after office hours, or they go for further courses. Takes away time from the family, and that could translate to friction again. Because starting when you started dating, you're with me every day.
You can
every
reply my
night.
text immediately.
Yeah, you can text me straight away. Then now, sorry, I'm going for a networking session. I'm going for a course. I'm going for a seminar. I'm going to do stuff, this and that. Weekends, I go for conferences. Wow, you get very annoyed by that way. But the partner who's doing that could be thinking, hey, I'm trying to progress forward so that I can find better connections, find a better job, better opportunities.
So I guess it's a balance, right? Sometimes if let's say your partner voice out certain things to you, maybe to not assume that they just feel that there is a change or things like that, but maybe they just want to spend more time with you over the weekend. So block out time and all that.
Time blocking.
Yeah. I think in our career that's one thing that, because we have the flexibility, right?
Oh yeah.
So
It's
we
often
tend
getting,
to work during the
overbooked,
weekends as well,
yes.
because that's where most people are not working, so that's why they have the time to have conversation with us and all that. So I think personally for myself, I realize that I tend to spend a lot of weekend time speaking to clients and all that, like having conversations. And then I don't spend enough time with my family or with my partner. So actively, I take a step to like block out maybe every Sunday to be specially for my family and my partner.
So it's being aware of the situations that, hey, actually, the relationship still matters more. And to put the priority to that.
But if you're in a new career, right, like you change your jobs and everything, in a sense, definitely you will spend much more time at the new work. I do get what you're trying to say. Like, you all can say that, you can always set out work time, block out and spend time with your family. But the thing is, let's say if I just started out at new work, then I really just want to chiong and do the best that I could to see my own capability or ability. It's not even about my girlfriend or my boyfriend, it's about myself.
So for this one, I realized that sometimes we have the best intention that let's say for a couple, you have best intention for both of us. But when one partner actually voice out a concern like that, sometimes it's not so much on what am I doing that is best for us, but more of like they need you to be around, or they feel that you don't give them enough attention and all that. So from personal experience, when you start to defend, right? Oh, that's it. That's it. It's going to be a full-blown like argument.
Full-blown open conversation.
Argument first, then open conversation. So I guess like the emotion have to come in first. To not defend yourself and to really hear what the other person is saying lah. Like then from there we can try to work out something that is balanced. Of course, it may not eventually be like to block out one day of the week for your partner if you're just starting out. But by hearing their problems, their emotions, I think they will be more open to see why you are doing this.
I see this more as a value issue. It's a value alignment rather than anything else. But I mean, okay, I do get from your point of view. But personally for myself, I think that if, let's say I have just started, my husband just started, that we both are very busy at work, we both are really working very hard. I don't really will want him to actually think that he's doing that for us. I will want him to think that he's doing that for himself. Same as me lah. I want to think that I'm doing this work thing is for myself. Because the last thing I actually want is, he works super hard and he feels super drained, and they got a resentment built up thinking that, hey, I'm doing for our future. Then you complain I never spend time with you, never go drink bubble tea with you. So this is the last thing. Yes, this is the last thing that I want it to happen. So honestly speaking, I think that the value has to be aligned. So be it like whether hustle life or whatever thing, right? But the value of, let's say, I want to work hard is for myself. I hope that you respect that. And I respect that you want to work hard is because you want to show off your own ability, capability. I respect that. Will you give out a deal?
My client flying in only for this day.
Exactly.
I have to make the appointment. But then, darling, I need to spend time with you. So long never spend
You
time
promised me already.
One thing that you can do differently, maybe you can ask your partner, what is one thing that I do for you every day that makes you happy?
Gratitude.
Yes, gratitude.
For me, I think create a joint account to have a shared goal.
One thing that couples can do is look at your mortgage so that both of you are aware what's the interest rate you're paying and how much is going to it.